ladies and gentlemen, you probably clicked on this video and you're like,
my goodness, this guy can't get his mind together. He's all over the place.
And let me just start off the video with, yes, I am, because I feel like every day a new thing happens, whether it's in the Call of Duty community or Battlefield community, and it just feels like it's this tug of war of like, what do I want to pursue coming up? And so I made this, I'm making this video with a number of points in it. Number one, I want to talk about the beta. I want to talk about, now that I played it for like 50 hours, 40 hours, yes, I have no life, where I see Call of Duty going. The second thing is my thoughts on Battlefield as it, you know, happens to be out in like 2 days. And then the third thing of just going through my thought process and where I see content going on this channel, and honestly just in the world of content in the first person shooter market. And then at the end, we're just gonna go over my plans and just kind of give you a snapshot of what I think is gonna happen. So let's first of all go over the beta so far. I think at the base of this game, Black Ops 7, I do think at its core, it is a good game. It is a fun game. And with the changes that these guys are making, they're on the ball here. Treyarch, I gotta give love to these guys. They're on X Games mode right now. Every single thing that people have been asking for, they're just continually doing it. Like TTK, they're gonna adjust, like we've talked about before, the doors and like the head glitches and the way that matchmaking is working with skill-based matchmaking. I know I've said that in like every video we've made lately, but I think we have to give them credit for that, and I think they deserve some praise. So I also have been playing the game with all of that stuff in mind, and for some reason I just keep getting this feeling that I'm not fully in love with this game, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of go alongside the opinion of a lot of the casuals out there, a lot of you probably watching at home, where it doesn't feel enough of a difference between BO6 and BO7, and I know that might get me in trouble, but I think that the challenge that these developers are putting themselves in when they want to create back-to-back games is there's not enough time in between to make you feel like you're playing this brand new game. I think if we would have gotten BO6, then MW3, then Black Ops 7, it would have felt like this refreshment where you're like, all right, we're back on Black Ops. I feel the difference. But now it's in this era of like, okay, we just played that game. They just added wall bouncing, and, you know, the sliding's a little bit less cracked, and we'll talk about that in a second. And at the same time, you know, the guns are a little bit more futuristic and the maps are a little bit more clean and futuristic. So I don't see it making an impact in terms of people when they decide what game they want to buy coming up, that they are going to choose this one over Battlefield. I think that they see this game as sort of a DLC. And I think also another thing that I have written down here with this game, I have a lot of people that I follow with, that are other creators in the scene. And one guy that I actually want to talk about, we've never met before, but his name is Teabag. And he has great content. I think he's majority a Battlefield guy and then like a little bit of Call of Duty on the side. But he literally put up this tweet today. I tried to play the Black Ops 7 open beta, and I think I've officially outgrown the franchise. This fast-paced jumping, sliding, diving, dying, die, spawn, diving, slide. It's just not for me anymore. And the more I played Call of Duty Black Ops 7, I feel like I'm starting to have that opinion. I feel like there's nothing better than the Call of Duty gunplay and even just the movement in general. I'm not talking about the sliding and all that. I'm just talking about the generic movement and guns up mentality that this game has always had. There's nothing better. But the formula of making these games more movement and movement based and just very sweaty, I think Call of Duty this year is really going to struggle to get the casual audience. Now, the funny thing is, I would consider myself a little bit of a jetpack guy. Like, I liked AW and BO3. But I don't know if this makes sense to you guys. I feel like those games, despite being jetpack games like BO3, if you look at BO3 versus BO7, BO7 looks like it's cracked out of its mind compared to BO3. I don't know if it's the bar that kind of only allowed you to slide and jump for limited times. I don't know if it was the 80 FOV back in the day. It just feels like despite it being a jetpack COD, BO3 wasn't as cracked as you really thought it was. You could still play boots on the ground, not have to slide everywhere. And I feel like BO7 is just that kind of game. You have to just slide and move and bounce. And I think that just gets exhausting for people to play. Another example that I want to say is my buddy, actually, my neighbor, who doesn't really know what I do. He knows I do video games, but he doesn't know exactly what I do. And he was like, hey man, did you see the Black Ops 7 trailer? I said, well, yeah, I kind of played the game early. I went, flew out. No flex here. I didn't say that actually. I was like, yeah, I saw it. Yeah. I said, what'd you think? He said, that looks like dog crap. I'll phrase it nicely. He's like, dude, I cannot wait for Battlefield 6. And I'm like, all right, man. Okay. And so this has just been the thought in the back of my mind this whole time is, where do I see a lot of people going? I can tell you right now, I've done a couple tests on my channel and on my shorts and my TikTok and my YouTube and my Instagram. It is wild to see how hyped up this launch is for Battlefield. I put up a TikTok that was Call of Duty got rid of skill-based matchmaking. And to summarize my TikTok, if the news is popping, I can get anywhere from 200 to 500 to 1 million views on a TikTok. And when I put out this SBMM announcement, I'm thinking like, hey, 500K, this is the greatest announcement Call of Duty's ever done. It has 50,000 views, which is great, but way less than I expected. On top of this, I decided, like, let me toss a couple Battlefield videos up there, see if people are taking interest in it. The Battlefield TikTok where I talk about the season 1 plan and how they're making an S&D mode has 500,000 views. 50 versus 500,000, no skill-based matchmaking versus an S&D game mode announcement. It's 10 times the amount almost. I think that's the math, right? That's probably way off. To me, that is just shocking. It is shocking to me that I did not see the magnitude of how many people and how many casual people are enjoying this game over Call of Duty. And the more I've played the beta, I've started to kind of understand that. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized, like, man, I miss those classic Call of Duties, COD 4 through Black Ops 2, where it was a lot of it was you could have good movement, but it was a lot more of what kind of gunplay do you have and what kind of smarts do you have to flank, to post up, to pick your angles right. Now it just feels like, okay, let's run into this spot and let's bounce off something and figure out if that's the move or not. And it's like, I feel like Call of Duty is so close. Like, they're adjusting the TTK, they're adjusting the way the doors are, they're getting rid of skill-based matchmaking. But I don't think this is the game that's going to move a needle. I think this, I've said it before, I think this game is going to be, it's just going to keep Call of Duty steady. I don't think they're going to bleed players because I think Call of Duty is going to be Call of Duty. But I don't think that this is going to be that MW19 or the MW2 where it's like Call of Duty is back and everybody's playing it again. There's no chance. And so I feel like for me, this is something that has encouraged me to maybe step outside of the box and pursue Battlefield content. I feel like I've always kind of held myself back. We've done a couple Battlefield videos on the channel. They've always done well, which is making me feel like a bit of an idiot right now, but they've always done well. And I've talked to Hunter TV about this. There is going to be so much stuff to do in Battlefield 6 when it launches that I can think of content for days, whether it's camo grinding, whether it's doing the campaign, whether it's going over the Battlefield labs and talking about that, whether it's going to be the BR in 2 weeks. There is so much that we're going to do. And by the way, just a quick plug, if you want to join us, we're going to stream the campaign probably Friday morning of Battlefield 6, because I can't wait for that. I've been a fan. We played Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4's campaign, I believe, or maybe 3. and they both were very fun to do. So I think that talking about the, a little bit of the future of this channel, I think we're really going to pursue Battlefield for the month of October. Now, I don't want to act like we're going to quit Call of Duty forever. And, I know obviously the title says kind of like bye-bye Call of Duty, but I think it's only fair for me as a creator to at least try Battlefield, give it a fair shot, not put up one video and be like, okay, that did okay, I'm out of here, see ya. Like, let's dive in, let's learn the game, let's, talk about it as a COD guy, not try to change the game, but just be like, okay, I'm a COD guy. How does this play? And again, with the S&D mode coming, with the smaller modes, with not hardpoint, I know it's not called hardpoint, but hardpoint, domination, and they have these smaller modes, team deathmatch, and they have it where, you don't have to call for a revive. And I know this might get me in trouble with the Battlefield people, but I like the ability just to spam X and spawn back in. I don't want to have to wait for somebody. I don't want to have to get the eagle eye view and then pick on somebody that I want to spawn on. And, great, that's conquest. I get it. That's fine. But not really my thing. So there's a lot to explore with this game, which as a creator, you have to stay fresh. You have to stay inspired, I should say. Like, you want to be able to go into these videos with the ability to be like, I feel great. I want to keep making content on this. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pursue this and I'm going to try to test how it does. Maybe you guys hate it. Maybe you guys like it. And that's where I want to talk to you guys, like, for opinions. I know some of you probably haven't made it this far, but if you have made it this far, like, what would you like to see me cover with Battlefield? How do you want to see this content go over as we explore it? Do we want to do similar stuff to what we've done on this channel, where we kind of explore a couple different Call of Duties and we'll explore a different couple Battlefields in the same video? I think that would be fun. So there's just so many ideas bouncing through my head. And again, as a creator, when you have a bunch of ideas flowing, that usually means you're inspired to do something. And I got to be honest with you, you guys have really helped that, because at first I thought, I'll maybe dabble with Battlefield, but the reception to this thing is just insane. It really is. I mean, I feel like this is one of those magnitudes where Battlefield has the ability to take over the first person genre here. Like, they've had opportunities in the past, bad launches, bad games, and they've just flopped. And it feels like this one, and I was talking to my buddy today, Cup of Joe, I feel like this game feels like a perfect storm. At first, it's like, yeah, it's Battlefield, they'll probably do decent, but they're gonna, they're never gonna take over Call of Duty. This just feels like everything is going so well for Battlefield. Their marketing so far has been literally flawless. Everything that they've done, from the open beta, from allowing anybody to play, from the way that they did the commercial making fun of Call of Duty, from the way they've handled pre-orders and the way they've talked to, like I said, the ability to have devs reaching out to me. Shout out to the devs. You guys know who you are. The Battlefield devs asking me what I thought about the beta, asking me what I think I can do with the full release, asking me if I want to be involved with their, creators program and stuff like that. I just think that is insane, especially because I'm not a Battlefield guy. The fact that they're pursuing Call of Duty people, even with their reveal trailer just the other day, I think it came out like 2 days ago or yesterday. I noticed one thing. There was a lot of Call of Duty creators in this gameplay trailer or launch trailer. Tim the Tatman, Merc Music. I probably should know more because I had an example like that, but there was a lot more than I thought was going to be. And I think that they're really trying to tackle the battle. They're trying to tackle that FPS genre, and they want the crown this year. And I got to respect that. And another thing that you guys have brought up as well is, and listen, I'm not trying to get into the political and any of that stuff, but the economy, people only have like the ability to maybe possibly buy one game. And if you're a casual and your friend is also a casual and he says, I'm playing Battlefield 6, I'm buying Battlefield 6, what do you think the friend's gonna do? He's gonna buy Battlefield 6. And I think it coming out first is a huge advantage. October 10th, like, you're a month before Call of Duty. And you're gonna have your battle royale before Call of Duty even comes out too. So they have planned it absolutely perfect. I think a lot of the I keep saying the word casual, but a lot of the casuals are gonna be purchasing this game, and I think their friend group is gonna follow with them. And the ability to have these large scale wars, the ability to feel like you're playing a modern shooter, a shooter that's based around more about positioning and gunplay rather than bouncing around and sliding around and da-da-da-da-da. I just think that they've nailed it. Now, here's where I say for the future of the channel, and also I'm still a little bit nervous because here, number one, we've seen Battlefield have an opportunity to dethrone Call of Duty back when Call of Duty released Vanguard, which a lot of you hate, and they launched 2042. And let's just say that game, whoa, we sit in big doo-doo jaja. That thing did not go over well. Maybe one of the biggest flops in gaming history. So despite Battlefield doing everything perfect so far, there is still one more hurdle here, maybe two. You got to be able to launch this game in a working state, the server's working, everybody's able to hop on, everybody's able to invite their friends, everybody's able to play together and get games and do what they want to do without there being interruptions or a week-long issues or a bunch of updates and a bunch of patches. Because I know how I am, dude. If I get a game and I can't play it for the first 2 days, I'm out, man. I'm out. Like, you're making me waste my money here. You're making me waste my time. And I am a little bit nervous because we're all hyping up Battlefield. And just a reminder, this is EA who's made this game. Let's just be real here. I don't know when we went from praising, crapping on EA to praising them like they're the next thing of Michael Jordan here. But I'm just saying, let's be cautiously optimistic because the beta was handled perfectly. So that's great. So yeah, I think that is where I see this whole conundrum happening here. And I think a lot of creators are going to switch to this game, which is going to be more eyeballs for everybody. And more, more and more people coming to try it because a lot of the COD people I know are going to try this game and they're going to put content out there. And I think if you get more and more COD people trying it, that leaves less and less people playing Call of Duty. And I think one of the biggest things I saw recently was I think the open beta on Steam. And I know I don't want to, the Steam charts are always like this. It's kind of like this weird thing around Steam charts, but I saw a tweet. 500K played the Battlefield beta on Steam and 100K played the Black Ops 7 beta. And I think the reason we're seeing a lot of the changes to Call of Duty are because they're scrambling on defense. It's not because they want to listen to us. Yes, it's perceived as that from some people. Like, yes, they're listening to us. That's great. But it's only because you see the impact of how good Battlefield's doing and you see your player base kind of lowering and your pre-order numbers not as high. So it can look a little bit like, okay, you only want to listen to us when your money and your pocketbook's affected. And so let's see them continue to do it. And so where do I see the future of this channel going? Like I said, we're going to try Battlefield content for the month of October. We're going to give it our best shot to see how it does. We're obviously going to do Call of Duty mixed in with that. It will probably not be the newer Call of Duties. I have some ideas that some of you probably have went to the live streams. We're doing the hardest mission in every Call of Duty. So it's going to be a series where I play one mission, the hardest mission in every Call of Duty for every COD. So that's probably what I'm going to spread throughout this Battlefield content because it's still that classic COD. But I don't see myself playing Black Ops 6. I don't see myself playing MW3. And then when the new Black Ops comes out, will I camo grind it? Probably. Will I play the campaign? Definitely. But we're just going to have to see. Maybe I'm talking right now and my future self is going to look back on this video and go, yeah, bro, you ain't going to touch Black Ops 7 because your community loves Battlefield 6 and they don't want you to play Black Ops 7. And maybe that's the case. And I hope that's, well, I don't know if I hope that's the case or not, but we'll just have to see. And then obviously the future with Modern Warfare 4 is supposedly the next Call of Duty. I plan on playing that because I really do feel like that's going to be a return to form. I think Call of Duty is going to learn that futuristic and bouncy just really isn't the move for people anymore, and they need to get back to grounded. Now, not MW2 grounded, but just COD 4, BO2, MW3, stuff like that. Like, let's keep it like that. I don't think it's that hard. But, you know, maybe I'm just an old man yelling at the clouds, like I always say. But anyway, guys, all feedback is appreciated here. I really appreciate all the love on the videos. I know I've been ranting in these last couple, and you guys are kind of waiting for me to do a video where I actually play the game. But in this time, I kind of want to give you my thoughts rather than just like throw out some random Call of Duty video that I'm not really passionate about. So summarize, we're going to pursue Battlefield. We'll probably play some Black Ops 7, see how it's received. And of course, old school Call of Duty is never leaving because that's just my baby. You know, that's just my baby. But let me know in the comments, what would you like to see, whether it's old school, whether it's Battlefield, what type of content do you see me pursuing here? And again, thank you very much. If you want to follow me on social media, Tdawgsmitty on Twitter and Instagram, if you made it this far. That way I can, you know, update you when I'm live streaming and when I'm, you know, just tweeting random crap. Like I bought Simpsons Hit and Run the other day for the second channel, and, you know, maybe you want to know that. So, all right, guys, another rant, another day, another rant. I'll see you in the next one.